Hello, all you coin aficionados out there, and welcome once again to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we have two coins for you from the pre-independence Indonesia, Malaysia, North Borneo, Brunei, Singapore, Sarawak, and the Riau Archipelago. What many people don't know is they were all one for purposes of coinage prior to 1967. And what we have here is a 1940 1-cent coin. And as you can see on the back of it, it says 1 cent in the center. It says Commissioners of Currency Malaya. And then in the bottom center, it says 1940. We also have a 1962 1-cent coin, and it says Malaya and British Borneo on that one, and it is a round coin. Now, what many people don't know is that all of the countries that I named initially were combined for purposes of coinage before they got their independence. So in 1940, they were all governed, if that's a word for it, a good word for it, by the British in terms of producing currency, and they all fell under the crown. And so when we turn it over, you'll see exactly what I mean. So there we have George VI, King Emperor of England, on the back of the 1940 1-cent coin. But we see by 1962, even though it was at that point called Malaya and British Borneo, that we start seeing a little bit of a difference in the coinage. And what we see in the 1962 coin, and this is the first and only coin that features a specific thing. What happened was in 1961, the coin had Elizabeth II on it. In 1962, moving towards independence, and especially independence of their currency, the countries kind of grouped together and had this coin made. And on the front it did say Malaya and British Borneo, and on the back it has crossed encased swords. So the coin on the left, the British coin, is a bronze coin. It weighs 5.83 grams. It is 21.5 millimeters in diameter, and it's a quadrangular coin. In other words, a four-sided coin with rounded edges. This coin in this specific shape, there were 14 million of this, 14,308,000 of these coins made. It's probably worth $1 in US in the shape that it's in right now. That's the coin on the left. The coin on the right is actually worth about half of that, or 52 to 60 cents. The 1 cent 1962 from Malaya and British Borneo. So let's take a look at the back of those again. Now, what happened was that as the 60s progressed, the countries moved closer and closer to independence, and in 1967, the Commissioners of Currency and the Board of Commissioners of Currency of Malaya no longer controlled the currency. However, these continued, some of the money, including the Malaya and British Borneo dollar, continued to be legal tender until 1969. And that was what happened in 1967 was the countries came together and agreed to kind of separate and have their own currency. And so Singapore came out with its own dollar, Malaysia came out with its own dollar in 1967, and Brunei came out with its own dollar in 1967. Now, if we want to track that with the pennies, here we have two more pennies. We have the 1967 penny from Malaysia. Now, of course, in 1967, Malaysia started producing its first coins of its own, and this is the 1 sen coin from 1967. Not the 1 cent, but the 1 sen. And you can see it says Malaysia at the top. It has some flowers on the sides, and it has it very clearly is a 1 sen coin, not a 1 cent coin. Now, if we turn the back over, we start seeing something much more Malaysia, modern Malaysia-like. And we see the crescent moon and star, and we see the Parliament House of Malaysia. So now Malaysia has become a much more independent country. It puts its own religious and economic symbols on it. And this coin on our left, is again a copper coin now, and it's 1.94 grams, diameter of 17.78 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.25 millimeters. The coin on the right is the last of our coins from Malaysia, and that is the 1995 1 sen coin. And on the front, on the back, we're looking at the back, it has Bank Negara Malaysia on the back, and it is an hibiscus flower and the 1 sen. On the front of the coin, we see another Malaysian symbol, a cultural symbol, and that is the Rebana Ubi drum. So this is a ceremonial drum from Malaysia on the 1995 coin. The 1995 coin, there were 208,611,000 made. The 1967 coin, there were 45 million of those made. So neither one of those is highly valued. If we go back to the prior two coins and look at them, the 1941 cent and the 1962 1 cent, the 1941 cent coin, there were 14 million of those made, and it's probably worth about $1 in the shape that it's in. And the 1962 1 cent coin, there were 45 million of those made, and that's again worth a little less than $1 in present day value. All right, so that is our tour of the Malaya and British Borneo, the Malaysia coins from 1940 until 1995. Have a great day, and please subscribe to the DC Coin World International Coin channel if you're interested in our videos, and please leave a comment if you have anything you would like us to do a video on, or you simply have something to say about this particular video. Have a great day from DC Coin World International Coin channel.